Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Megan, and today I have some fall book recommendations for you. I know we're pretty far into fall already, so you might be like, Megan, why are you doing this? Well, for me, fall can last until like Thanksgiving, so I'm going to hold on to the fact that your fall might last that long as well and still push out this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the recommendations now. My first recommendation is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. In this story, we are following Severin, or Sev for short, who is a well-known treasure hunter. The Order of Babel has offered Sev his one true prized possession, which is his inheritance. He locates and tracks down and recruits 6 misfits to help him on his journey to complete the Order of Babel's mission, and it's got a lot of heavy Six of Crows vibes, but I personally think it was distinct enough that I loved it. There's a lot of mythology that's not included in Six of Crows, and they actually have like riddles written in the book, which is really cool. Let me see if I can find another example. Like, here's one. But also the representation in this book is incredible, and I just really love this. The Silver Serpent just recently came out, which is the sequel, so it's the perfect time to pick it up. My next recommendation is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses dark retelling in which we are following our main character and her 11 sisters, and this town believes that the family is cursed because every so often one of the sisters dies off. The sisters are starting to believe they're cursed as well, and our main character is on the hunt to figure out what this curse is. It's so creepy, so mysterious. It's got some on the sea vibes. It gets to the point where you start to question your own mind and what you think because it gets so convoluted. Next is Sadie by Courtney Summers. This is a story told in 2 different perspectives. I personally read it in audiobook format and think that is the perfect way to go because it reads exactly like a podcast. We are following 2 different perspectives in this. The first perspective we are following is Sadie, who is on the hunt to track down her sister's killer and has gone missing herself. And then we are also following a podcaster or podcast host several months later who is on the same path and same hunt as Sadie, but trying to track down what happened to Sadie. My next recommendation is Where Dreams Descend, and this is by Janella Angeles. In this, we are following Kalia, who has joined a competition to become the main act of the Conquering Circus. There is suddenly a killer on the loose, and the magicians or performers are turning up dead or missing or with weird things happening to them, and Kalia is trying to figure out what happens. She believes she knows what it is going on, but it gets very similar to House of Salt and Sorrows, convoluted, and you start to question everything. And it was so good. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. If you enjoyed Caraval or Phantom of the Opera, I highly recommend. Also, if you enjoyed this, I highly recommend Caraval if you haven't read it yet. Next is Fable, and I feel like I've talked about this hundreds of times, but it is a book by Adrienne Young. In this, we are following a girl named Fable who is left by her father on the island of thieves in order to prove herself. She is a dredger, which means she digs up gems and lost treasure from shipwrecks and such, and she uses this money to barter her way onto a ship to get back to her father. And on the ship, she is discovering secrets that she really shouldn't know, and the romance is great, and it's just so good. Next is Pumpkinheads. This is a graphic novel by Rainbow Rowell. We are following these 2 characters, Josiah, or Josie, and Deja, and they are seniors, and it's their last night at the pumpkin patch before they have to head off to college. And so they are on the quest to track down Josie's crush and get him to talk to her. And it's just a really cute rendezvous through the pumpkin patch, and they encounter lots of shenanigans along the way, and I love it so much. Also, am I a pumpkinhead? My next recommendation is The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab. This tells the story of this town that has the folklore of the Near Witch who takes and steals and kills off their children. And it used to be a folklore, but our main character is now discovering that that folklore might not be so fake after all. Also, I highly recommend literally any of V. Schwab's work for this season. We've got the A Darker Shade of Magic series, we've got the Villain series, which includes Vicious and Vengeful, This Savage Song, which is about monsters, and the City of Ghosts, and Addie LaRue. I mean, she writes perfectly for this season. Next is Serpent Dove by Shelby Mahurin, and this is the story of a fake dating / arranged marriage between a witch and a witch hunter. And I don't like to go too much further into the synopsis because that is all I knew going in, and it worked perfectly for me, so that's all I'm gonna say for you guys. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. If you're looking more for the dark academia side or adult fantasy side of things, Ninth House is the book for you. In this, we are following Alex Stern, who has been recruited by one of Yale's societies in order to maintain the other societies and also to keep the Veil at bay. Alex has a unique ability to do this and keep the Veil from breaching into our realm, and her mentor goes missing, and now she is on the hunt for what went wrong. And my last recommendation for this video is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. The story of Zelly, who is part of a tribe whose magic was stolen, and we are also following Omari, who is the princess, and comes across the scroll that can bring magic back to the people. She encounters Zelly, and together they team up to bring magic back to this realm. So those are all my recommendations for fall. Let me know if you're going to read any of them down below, or if you have any to recommend me, and I will check in with you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, friends.